Nice TV, Moshie Wagekeno.
The road to success is always paved by motivation. Tide daugire agua. Ya muthenya wa umuthi tugukorwo tugithoma maundu maingi na maria tugukorwo tugitwarithia na mbere ndereti itu ya kiumia kihetoku na kamwira tugithiite na mbere tugukorwo tugihutiriria ciuria iria ciothe mukoretwo mukiuria kuria nenda-ini cio kinyaniria na iria tutakorirwo tukihota gucokia muthenya wa ira na tariki ni 16 mweri wa 10 mwaka wa 2022 ndagiuka muthenya wa umuthi akiri muthenya wa kiumia ari tafarira ya utuku wa mohoro tukinyitithanitie mohoro maitu ma thaa imwe ningagitwo Jose wa MUTHONI na aririkana urakorwo gitukinyira kuri mwana wa Facebook ni Nice TV mushie wa gikeno Twitter Nice TV Kenya, TikTok Nice TV Kenya, Instagram Nice TV Kenya. Nturathie na mbere na go stream kuri muna wa Go Live Africa. Na application ito ya Nice TV wathi kuri muna wa Play Store ni urakorwo ukimiamukira na njira ĩrĩa yagĩrĩire na uririkane nginya mwena ucio nturakorwo tugi stream live. Na baito ya ndumiriri nguhi ungienda gukorwo kiuria muthenya wa umuthi ni gifugo mugwanja gifugo imwe mugwanja gifugo igiri inya. Na muthenya wa umuthi kamwira tugithiete na mbere ngoro nginyita ageni aitu muthenya wa umuthi ngwenda gukorwo ngimuririkania kaundu kanini ka mundu gwitwo Abraham Lincoln leo aririkana ni ari mutongoria wa bururi wa America na niguo ukorwo ukimenya ate farafara ya success ni ikoragwo na morito mwaka wa 1832 mundu gwitwo Abraham Lincoln ni akorirwo agite wira wake mwaka wa 1880 na tebuhudire githungu icio namba ni cirarega 1832 mundu gwitwo Abraham Lincoln lost his job 1832 defeated for legislature 1833 failed in business 1834 elected to legislature 1835 the woman he loved died 1836 had a nervous breakdown 1838 defeated for speaker 1843 defeated for nomination for Congress 1848 lost renomination 1849 rejected for lord officer and 1854 defeated for Senate 1856 defeated for nomination for vice president. Despite maundu macio mothe akorirwo akigerera mwaka wa 1860 niyo 1860 elected for president of the United States of America. Maundu maya maratutwara hari quote yakorirwo ikiuga ni mundu gwitwo Michael Jordan na akiuga atiriri key to success is through failure. Maundu macio ma Abraham Lincoln niguo marakuonia atari gutema riu welcome muthenya wa umuthi ni magicokereria tukorwo tugitwarithia na mbere ndereti itu muthenya wa umuthi niyo the pave way to success iria tugukorwo tugitwarithia nawe nginya riria irihanda thaa imwe. Mr. Japhet, welcome.
Thank you.
Utasalimia watu then we continue from there.
Hello our viewers, welcome to today's topic.
Emmanuel, welcome again.
Greetings our viewers. It's good to be back again and I love to be with you. Thank you for the responses that you're giving back and it is a pleasure to just interact with you again. Thank you.
So today before we continue, we'll have to look at some questions that were asked last time on Sunday, and the first question was ways to overcome challenge. I think I will start with you. Yeah, ways to overcome challenges.
There is not a defined way or definite way to overcome any challenges.
Yeah.
Like I said when we were studying the last time, it's like challenges are diverse in their own way.
Yeah.
And there is no way, it's like the fingerprints that we have.
Yeah.
They come to you as a person, and despite you being in the same family with your siblings, you will all react differently. But there are ways that you need to be prepared. And one of them is like, you have to make sure that in your mind and in your heart, in your own being, you have decided that this is not going to bring me down. It brings us back to the attitude. An attitude of making it. An attitude that says, I can do this. An attitude that goes with saying like, I will not give up. And despite being knocked down, I will still get up. I also mentioned the last time that we were here, and I say that if you have a place that you're going to, go there.
Yeah.
If you have to run, run.
Yeah.
And if you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. And if you can't crawl, just make sure that you get there.
Yeah.
So, and we've also heard, it has been said, there are 1,000 ways to kill a rat.
Yeah.
We can never define, because the challenges are there, 1,001 situations. And there are 1,001 ways.
Yeah.
The guy that invented the bulb, Thomas Edison,
Yeah.
after inventing the bulb and he got it to work, he was asked, now that you have invented this way, you had close to 1,000 failures. What is it that you can tell us about this? And he said, in these failures, I learned close to 1,000 ways of not doing that which I was doing. Invention of the valve.
Yeah.
So, in you overcoming your challenges, there is no defined way.
Yeah.
When we were going to school, when we were getting into Form 1, we were defining osmosis. Challenges can never be defined like osmosis.
Yeah.
Okay? It is not 1 + 1. It is you becoming, knowing that situation. And then you have prepared yourself
Yeah.
in the mind first. Because it's not about you also, because we need to become non-reactive compared to being reactive. You become somebody that is prepared for whatever, first mentally, whatever challenge will come to my way, I will walk through that.
Yeah.
No matter how many times. Here's what the Bible says. Again, I love going back to the Bible because it's one book that keeps on teaching you about situations of life. A righteous man may fall 7 times, but the Lord is with him. You know? So, you may fall. And again, I spoke about that the last time. The falling is not the issue. Are you going to get tapped from the mud? It is not the situation that is coming at you that is the matter with you. Well, how you respond to that situation is what actually goes on to determine how successful you're going to become.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Emmanuel. Just say Japhet. Something to add on that?
I think what I can just say, like now, challenges are necessary for the success. I can just say that you know, as the topic of today, as you have said, it was, we were talking about pathway of success.
Yeah.
And in anything that we do, challenges must be there.
Yeah.
And what we can tell our viewers is, once you face the challenges, challenges are necessary because it is. I can take an example of growth. When we talk about the growth, when we are in the process of the farming, when you are doing farming, you cannot say that now I'm doing farming, you avoid the weeds. Weeds have to be there, and once the weeds are there, you have to work on the ways of removing the weeds. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that in our success, in our normal life, as you define your success, let us know that challenges are there to make us strong.
Yeah.
Challenges are there. The only way that we can do challenges, it is to understand the challenges.
Yeah.
Once we understand the challenges, and then we take the challenges we face in life, we take them as to be positive. The only way that we can take them positive, one of the psychologists say that once you take things positive, it works on your way.
Yeah.
I want to say that in any way, let's take an example, even if it is a gold, the gold, it takes a process to be a gold.
Yeah.
So the process is very important in our success.
Yeah.
The challenges, it are a part of the success. They are making us to gain the momentum.
Yeah.
So the challenges, once the challenges have come, we don't say that once we fall down, we say that now it is over. We throw our towels. What I want to say that once we fall down, let us be happy that we are going to wake up being more stronger. And if we are going to be more stronger, it means that our journey is going to be so sweet. That's why we do say that the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. What is on the process is such importance.
Thank you very much. And before I go to Sir Emmanuel, what are my strengths in the situation?
I think when we talk about the strength, now let's say for example you are on the channel of success, you need to understand yourself. What are your values? What gives you energy? Let's say for example now I'm pursuing on my education.
Yeah.
Now there's something that I know. I know come rain, come sunny, I'm best at that. So that thing that I know I'm best at that, I need to concentrate on that. I mean that in anything, let's say for example it is a job that you are doing.
Yeah.
There is a job that when you do it with a passion. That passion that makes you to do it best. That's what you call strength. Not only that, strength, it makes us to know how to deal with the challenges. If we are talking about success, it means success, we need to know, once we have known ourselves, once we have known that there's something that we are best at, that's what makes us to be strong.
Okay.
And then the strong makes us, once we know that we have the strength, we know this strength is going to enable us to handle our challenges. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much, Sir Emmanuel. Does it have the facts? I mean, do I have the facts to overcome challenges? Someone asked that question.
Yes, absolutely yes. Whatever challenges you're facing, again, as I have just said, you need not to become reactive, but proactive. Sit back. And sometimes life, okay, I'll say this, and I like going back to it. As a young man, in my early 20s, and actually from a very early age, I was trained in martial arts. Okay. And in the training of martial arts, we get to know that there is, Mike Tyson go to a place and said, and he's quoted of saying that my left is actually right. Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes you get blindsided. You're too focused on the things that are happening to you, and all of a sudden it gives you a left. Right? And that left leaves you staggering. You didn't see it coming. But before you even react to that, sit back and say, yes, I was so focused. And part of the things that you do so that you can succeed on anything is to be so focused on something. But you shouldn't be ignorant of that which is possible. So when this happens, and this is where my brother is talking about, sometimes failure comes your way. And when failure comes, sit back. Don't just, the worst thing that happens to a drowning person is when you try and go save them when they're still fighting the water. Because in swimming, you have come to a contract per se with the water that I I'm going to trust you to carry my weight, and I'm going to enjoy you. And that's why they swim. So whoever continues fighting the process gets to drown. They haven't come into that contract. So are you able to come to that place of getting to that place? Like, can you actually overcome, or can you actually get to the place of knowing that you can overcome? Yes. And in case something happens to you that you didn't expect it to happen, know this, despite it putting you down, it is what we call a detour, where you're heading into this way, but there is a way that has been made to be longer. Enjoy the scenery. But as you get to that other place, you will have learned something new. Take this as a blessing in disguise. You are coming out wiser.
Thank you very much. I didn't know what is that. That name umesema hapa.
Detour.
A detour.
Okay, the detour. When we're making roads, when we're building roads, and then there is
the long ways.
When they also diverge you into a different way, then you think that this is the way I was supposed to go. So they give you to a different road.
Okay.
Oh God, I wish, what is this? They put a sign and they say, the only thing, the construction ahead, and then there is a diversion. Diversion. And most of the times here, we put a diversion ahead, or this is the diversion. In other countries, they say like it's a detour. So it's a detour to that other place, but it's going to take you still to the same destination that you were headed to
from the beginning. A new vocabulary. Japhet, do you have anything to say about that?
I think here you have asked about the facts. Now, what I can just say, when you talk about success, success, you know, success as I always tell people, success, you don't have life in success. Success is a journey. And when you talk about success, there's some of the goals that you have set. Let's say, for example, you have said on how you can achieve academically. Maybe they say, for example, you want to pursue your degree. Once you want to achieve your degree, the first question that you need to ask yourself is about, as you set your goals, we have what you call long-term goals and short-term goals. When you talk about short-term goals, these are some of the small achievements in a daily basis. Every day, every morning, when you wake up, at the end of the day, you need to have the small the small achievement. From this small achievement, now they will give you the facts. Now that the big goal is going to work. What do I mean? I want to just say that in any success, when you talk about success, as we are the pathway to success, I mean that in any way, there's some of the things that we get. We need to achieve these small goals. We need to achieve them. I wish to quote a military culture. In a military culture, would you say that if you achieve in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, you need to make your bed. If you make your bed nicely, it means you have achieved. That's one of the achievements that you have made. So if you have made once you have been done with that, that's achievement that is going to give you the facts. And from that, just note at the end of the day, you're going to achieve. So I want to say that those small achievements are very important. Even the dressing that you dress, when you look at the mirror, who do you see? If you look at the mirror and then you look at yourself, you see you are smart. That's a big achievement. That smell that you get on a mirror, it makes you to do big goals. I can quote again. I just that if you know how to do something, and then you know how to do everything. So I want to say that those small goals they matter a lot. Let us all in anything we do, even if it is the small steps, it matters in the journey of success. Thank you.
There was something you told me back then about feeling like you are a failure. Does it come any close with the challenges? Is it a failure or something unajiekelea?
We all feel...
For those short term, ameongea
short-term goals and long-term goals.
Those are just short-term.
These are short-term goals, and in our short-term goals culminate to our long-term goal. As we continue working on an everyday, sometimes yes, we will experience failure.
Yeah.
But personalities are different. We have people who have a personality that they are perfectionists. And in their perfectionism, they want always to do, this has to be at this angle and at this height.
Yeah.
If they happen to miss that, they beat up badly.
Yeah.
And this is a contribution as to when they feel like they are failures. Again, despite how you feel, look to your long-term goal.
Yeah.
Understand that this is part of the way. This is one of the steps. And again, like I said, it's take that moment to understand whatever failure it is, and how you respond to it will determine your end goal, your end result. But if you come to a place of looking at this, and yes, you have fallen short of your goal at that particular moment, take that goal again. Do not be afraid to wake up, dust off your coat, and go on. Fight on. You will make it.
This again comes to my to my example on musicians. If you look at a musician, akienda kutoa wimbo, ataenda with that aim, ataenda nyumbani na wimbo yake. But if utamwambia asitoe hiyo wimbo, he or she will look for somewhere else. Anaweza toa hiyo wimbo. So this one shows like musicians are not patient. That's a good example about what I just asked.
Nitasema hivi. Pana wakati I think kwenye Tusker Project Fame, Rayvanny alienda.
Yeah.
Sawa. Na alipoenda kwenye audition, aliingia pale kama vile inavyostahili, na akaanza kuimba. Na alikuwa anaimba wimbo wa malaika, nakupenda malaika. Ila katika hali ya sauti yake, jamaa alianza kumcheka.
Yeah.
Na walipoanza kumcheka, mara mwisho wakamkana na wakakataa kwenda. Nafikiri wakati huo ndipo Tusker Project Fame ilikuja ikashimu na Mkenya.
Yeah.
Dada fulani. Na akashinda. Baada ya pale, Rayvanny alienda.
Yeah.
Na alipokaa kwenye moyo wake alijua mimi nataka kuwa mwanamuziki.
Yeah.
Alikuwa na mwanya ule wakwenda kwenye studio nyingine. Maana yake alikuwa amejiamini kivyake.
Yeah.
Na kutoa nyimbo zake kulingana na vile anavyojiamini mwenyewe. Lakini Rayvanny alienda akakaa chini na akaanza ni kama kujichunguza, je, vile walinicheka nitajiinua kwa njia gani? Baada ya pale alitoka na nini? Wimbo fulani mpaka pale anasema kwamba walinicheka. Lakini hivi pia angalia. Hivi sasa ni baadhi ya wanamuziki katika Afrika Mashariki ambao wanasifika kwa njia kuu. Chaguo ni lako. Tena maanake inarudi wewe kuwa kwamba tumefaulu na katika fani yako, maanake fani ni tofauti. Wewe kama utafikia mahali ambapo utafaulu, shauku ni lako. Lakini sasa wewe ni katika hali ya kwamba, je, nimeambiwa kwamba ati hapa yule mmoja aliniambia, yule mwingine ameniambia kwamba wimbo ndo huo unao, nitakuchukua hiyo shilingi 1500. Yule mwingine alikuwa anakuambia, bwana mimi nitakutolea wimbo wako kwa shilingi 15,000 ama shilingi 50,000, na mimi nitakutolea wimbo wako sawa, lakini hapo unastahili. Ambie wewe hujui. women wanaimba. Inatuleta mahali ambapo tutakuwa ni kwamba I will call it teachability. How teachable are you? How humble are you? Because in success there is humility.
So muroreri wa Nice TV muciĩ wa gĩkeno ngwĩhoka no ũrathiĩ na mbere na kũnyita kĩndũ na hau nĩho tũgwĩkĩrĩra katurumo ka ciũria iria muorĩtie kiumia kĩhĩtũku tũkorwo tũkĩingĩra thĩinĩ wa ndereti itũ ya mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ na nĩyo pathway of success. Is it pathway of success or pathway to
success?
Pathway to success, barabara ya gũthiĩ success. Hiyo jina imekata ni arega na Gĩkũyũ. Ndirikana ũratwarĩri kũrĩ mũno wa Facebook ni Nice TV muciĩ wa gĩkeno, Twitter Nice TV Kenya, Instagram Nice TV Kenya, na namba ya ndũmĩrĩri nguhĩ nĩ 0717171724 kũu nĩkuo ũrakorwo ũgĩtwarĩria. I won't ask if you know the meaning of success to explain. I assume everyone knows.
Thank you. When you talk about success, success is different to different people.
Yeah.
The way I understand success, it's not the same way you can understand success.
Yeah.
The way I can measure success, it's not the same way you can measure success.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, for me to say that I have achieved success, it is if I can have a lot of money, if I can have a lot of good cars, that's when I say I have success. And the other people, they can say, if I would get a master's in the university, I will be successful. And the other people can just say that if I can have food on my table, I will be successful. And other people can say, if I can have a good family, I can be successful. So I just say it depends with the person. How you can define that word success. It depends about you. But now the thing that we are talking here, we are talking how can you be successful in the family, in the business, in the academic. That is the same route that we are talking about.
All rounded.
All around, yeah.
Yeah, on your side I won't ask the meaning of success. Since you are talking about the pathway to success, how does this path look like?
The pathway to success has its own demarcations. Demarcations are like boundaries that will lead you to success. And like we're saying here, it's success is broad, and each and every person will define their own success in a different way. To one person, they will think that they're successful, but another one will look at them and think, man, you're not successful. So we need to get to a place of understanding principles that lead us to success. What are principles and what are rules? Rules are about this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. You can break rules, you can circumvent rules, but with principles, these are the foundations. You can never, if you go against principles, you are setting up yourself for failure. Whether it is in building a house, the principles to that is like you dig that trench, set up a foundation to build a house on. There is a principle on how to build just a bungalow and a 10-story building. If you build a 10-story building with the principles of a bungalow, you are destined to make that 10-story fall. So there are principles to success, and I hope that is what we're going to deal with.
Japhet, how does that path look like?
I think as my friend has said, pathway, as you understand, it is now the journey.
Yeah, channel.
It is the journey to success. And when you talk about the journey of success, as my brother said, we have the principles. Now I want to start a conversation here.
Yeah.
One of the principles, according to my understanding, it is what you call, for you to start the journey, you have to have what you call the right posture. When I talk about the right posture, I talk about the attitudes. How are you having the attitude towards success? Let's say, for example, I want to have a very good health.
Yeah.
What are the principles of being healthy? Let's say, for example, I need to wake up and then I do some exercise. I need to eat healthy food. That one, it is what is going to keep you on going well to reach a very good health body. And then we talk, what about if it's about education? So for you to enable to keep on going and going and going, you need to have what? You need to have the attitude. Attitude is going to make you to, is the one which is going to make you to work.
Yeah.
But if you have the wrong attitude towards something that you want to achieve, you are not going to achieve.
Yeah.
And do you know what you are going to get? You are going to get what you call negative thoughts. And whenever you have negative thoughts, this is when now you will start procrastinating things. You just say, you will get excuses.
Yeah.
You guys say, now I can't wake up, you know, it is very cold. Now you have failed. But if you have the right attitude, because you know, and now you have to, another principle, it is you have to have the purpose.
Yeah.
Why am I waking up? I'm waking up because I want to make my good health. Why am I working hard in school? I work hard in school because I want to make my future to be bright.
Yeah.
Why am I doing business? I'm going to do business because I want to earn a living. This is what, this is the purpose. It is what is going to keep us going.
Another question. What do you need to be successful?
It's a good question. What do you need to be successful?
Yeah.
I think what it needs to be successful, if you are okay, if you are a human being, nothing that you need. So long as you are a human being, you are ready for success.
Yeah.
Success does not have the specific people. Success does not go to, it is not belongs to the class of the people.
Yeah.
If you have your mind, if you are well-being, if you can think, you can succeed.
You can succeed.
Success starts from the mind. The thoughts, even if it is about the big building you have, anything that we have in this world, whether it is the big institutions, whether it is the big roads, that one, it starts from our thoughts. If you can think, you can succeed. I want to tell our viewers that in anything that we want to do, the life that we want to have, if I want to achieve, if I want to, let's say for example, I want to build a bungalow, I can build that bungalow.
Yeah.
So long as I can think, so long as I can have thoughts, so long as I can arrange my thoughts, I want to make this one clear that anything that you think, if you can think that you can be something, the thoughts are very important. So thoughts are necessary for you to be successful. If you can think, you can succeed.
Sir Emmanuel, what makes someone to be not successful?
This will be in continuation with whatever my brother is saying here. As a man thinks in his mind, so he is. You are a total sum of your thoughts. It is not that which you think you are that you are. So our thoughts determine where we're headed to.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things in quantum physics, they say all matter is energy.
Yeah.
And here, like there is a saying in English that goes like, birds of the same feathers flock together.
Yeah.
Your thoughts will flow towards you. Start thinking about yourself as a failure. Guess what? As you continue feeding yourself that, then you become. As a man thinks, so he is. Again, we start with that place of thought. What you think that you are, what you think that this is where I can't do this. Last week my brother was talking about, like, he dislikes when people say there is a generation that ati mimi siwezi, mimi siwezi, you know, I can't. When you tell yourself that you can't, the lie that you continue believing for long becomes a truth to you. I started saying by this is a lie. Then you have continued believing, and repeating it to yourself becomes a truth because it self-actualizes. That which you keep on telling yourself in the negative will happen. Because like we said, my brother again last week said this, like that which you keep on saying, words have power. They create. And words emanate from the mind. Because you have thought it. You speak it and it becomes. So the moment you start thinking negatively, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because negative thoughts take the strength out of you. Negative thoughts will look at this. Sometimes people start talking to themselves and they say, okay, let's get kitchen and Yuma. And they're not even having that headache. But in a very short time, they will really have a headache. Because they started believing it and it has been actualized. The way out of that, I would want to take a step further. Stop thinking that you can't. Because determination knows no barriers.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Emmanuel. Japhet. Us as youths, we have lost hope in success. What can we do to get back on track?
Thank you. I think the waters run deep. Most of the youths nowadays, they have lost hope. And I think the reason why they have lost hope is because most people, they are not of themselves. I mean, like we have been talking about what a man thinks, so he is. Right now, most of the people, they are not of themselves. They just go together. Like, what I do is what you want to do. And really, the real life, we are here because the 10 years back, we were not even thinking that we can be here. But now, because we had the right, we had the right posture, because we were thinking that one day the life is going to change. That's what it has changed. I want to say that I want to give those ones who are watching us. I want to tell those youths who are outside that our thoughts can take us to places. If we can think, most people, I think most youths, they are not making the life because they have set the limitation for themselves. You get somebody has gone to the university. No, because he has gone to the university, he has done the masters, he has done the degree, he's just outside. He's saying, you know, we have gone to the university, now we don't have work to do. I want to say that life is all about what you create. If you want the success, just do away with about the limitation that you have set yourself. You can get poverty. Poverty, it's not lack of money. Poverty, it's all about the mindset. The mindset that I want to say that the youths who are outside. I can even remember when I was at the school, I was being brought up in a humble background. In a humble background, whereby my dad died long time ago, of which I honored my mother. So my mother used to struggle to make sure that we have gone to school. I can remember even in a high school. In high school, my mother was unable to raise the school fees. Do you know what I did? I just went to do vibarua, kubeba misigo, and then from there I just put some money on somewhere. After some attend when the school are opening, I paid for my school fees. What am I trying to say? I want to tell our youths, if you have finished school and then there's no what you can do, start where you are. Start with what you have. It's not all about you want to have a lot of money and then you start business. No, start with what you have. I remember the story that I want to say. When do you know what I did? I went to my auntie's place. Now that because me, my thought was I wanted to be successful. I wanted to not speak. I wanted to know how to speak English.
Yeah.
And the only way I can know to speak English was to go to school. So I went to my auntie's place. And do you know what I did? I went. I see people. The way people are doing peba beba. My aunt had a wheelbarrow. So this wheelbarrow, I took it to the stage.
Yeah.
I said I used it to beba beba musigo from one point A to B.
Yeah.
And then I used to get the money. And then that's how I managed to get educated. Through what? Through this kubeba.
Yeah.
What do I want to say? What about those youths who have finished school? They are finished school, they are outside. They are complaining that, you know, we finished school, there's no job.
Yeah.
The government is not going to give you a job. Ask yourselves, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Look outside. Look even the small capital. The small capital. Ask those people who have made it in life.
Yeah.
They started small.
Yeah.
But because they had a very positive that they had in their mind that they are going to succeed, that's how they succeeded. I want to say that most people, why they are not, most youths, why they are not making in life, it's because they like complaining. Somebody was being brought up in a poor family. You can be brought up in a poor family, but you make your life better. I want to say that even we have started, you talked about Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln failed a lot.
Yeah.
You can start a business today, it failed.
Yeah.
You can even, it is not all about you need to be sourced a lot of money and then you start business. Get out there. Enda kasi ya mchengo. Ukienda kasi ya mchengo, lipo hata 200. Save hiyo 200. Ukisave hiyo 200, kesho utaanzia hapo.
Yeah.
And then the moment you grow, go and even start a business. I was happy that in the course of the week I got a university student from MKU was selling the sweets on the street.
Yeah.
I really encouraged him. I told him that's how people start. So I want to encourage our youths. Kindly, if we want to make our life to be successful, let us start where we are, start with what we have, and then we make the life work.
Someone on Sunday said, youths want to start a business today and become a millionaire tomorrow. What do you have for them?
I will do this. I look at myself at the age of 21. I was a drug addict. At the age of 21, I'd completed my Form 4 at the age of 17. And I'd wanted to become a medic. But I missed that with just about 2 points for me to go to medical school. That was a disappointment.
Yeah.
And I wanted to become a medic because my mom was a medic. Right?
Yeah.
So my next goal was join the forces. And why did I want to join the forces? Because my dad was in the forces, had previously been in the forces. And my desire was to combine their careers. And then my plan was by the age of 38, I'll have completed my medical school, finished my contract with the armed forces, and now I'm retired. I could have my pension, but starting my medical clinics. When I failed to go, because I failed to join the army, because I had a spleen, an enlarged spleen. So in that, I was kicked out, and that was, my brother, you know, like the recruitment process goes into late in the evening. You've passed every step, and this is the last person to sign up your documents. They're coming and checking you, and then they find your spleen that is enlarged, and they sign and fit. And that was it.
Done.
I felt so disappointed. I felt like a failure in life. And I went and did a diploma in travel consultancy. But this was not my passion. It was something that was driven to me. I told my parents that my next thing was, I was willing to do motor vehicle engineering. But even if I could have started as a mechanic, and then start with a grade test, I could grow myself. They were like, no, that is too low for you. And so I accepted and I went. After my training and I have a diploma as a travel consultant, I go looking for a job on one of the streets in Mombasa, because that's where I grew up from.
Yeah.
And I went into this travel agency, and this Muhindi guy, like I went to this receptionist with my envelope, and this Muhindi guy says, the receptionist says, "Hatuna kazi." I said, "Napana," because I was told to be persistent.
Yeah.
Nataka kuona mwenyewe. And she said, "Fine." She makes a call, and I went in. He said, "Okay, mwambie kuje." So this young little guy goes in. And this Winnie guy tells me, "Toka hapa, kuna kazi, kwenda, toka." I felt so brokenhearted. And I gave him the F word. And I walked out.
Yeah.
From that moment, I went and started growing my dreadlocks. I became a Rastafarian. And I went deep into drugs. And I went into crime. These petty crimes. But in the petty crimes, I started growing in the in the levels. The one major drug dealer in Mombasa, he's long dead.
Yeah.
He actually saw there is potential in this young man. I never wanted to go join the army anymore. I was done with the medical school, nothing else. And with that heartbreak that I'd had, I knew we would come to Maushago and visit, but I never had the heart to ever think that I would ever go even maybe to Kisumu. And so in my drug addiction, at one time I had an overdose. You can imagine you nearly, the niqab, my brother, in Kikuyu we call it karemahiti. You see, I started having hallucinations. And I knew that I was dying. And the next thing is this, I started crying out to God. And I got my salvation from that. I had an experience with God. And that's how I became a Christian. Later, I had to close down my business that my parents had started for me. And I went into Bible school. And the time that I went to Bible school, and as I was sharing my story, one of my mentors told me, "This is what you have. We feel that God is going to lead you to a place that you will lead other young people." That's where my heart is. Success does not have to be like you just start out and you just blossom. The Chinese bamboo gets planted, and on the first year there's nothing. It's underground. Second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, you can actually think there's nothing there. But on the seventh year, the moment you see that ground crack, it comes out, it sprouts. And in 7 weeks, it has grown to be over 14 feet high. 7 weeks. Yet for 7 years, it was down there.
Because of time, you can see our time is rushing.
It's all right.
Mr. Japhet, make it brief in just 1 minute. Does success have limits?
Success has no limits. It is us ourselves. We are the people who set the limits. There's something I want to say. That's the challenge that we face. Let us remain positive. I want to say, let me quote Stride Masinyiwa, who's an entrepreneur. He said that whatever the condition that we have, we have to learn to fight in the condition, not to fight the condition. If it is about the poverty, you were born in the poverty, don't fight the poverty. Learn how you can improve on your wealth. I can testify this. even as we came from humble background, today we can afford to buy even a cup of tea. We can stand in the eyes of men and we tell them this one it can work. So if we set the limits, it is the limits. That limit it's going to be there for us. So if we cannot set the limits, it means that we can go where we want to go. Let me just say this before we conclude. Most people, you can get, for example, your dad has died. You keep on saying, oh, if I had my dad, my life was to improve. If your dad has died, you have to run. You cannot fight the condition. Your father is not going to come again. You cannot change the country where you were born. You say our country is very poor, the government is not getting job. Get used to it. Get used to the condition. Learn how you can get out of the condition. You cannot fight the condition. If you fight the condition, you're going to lose. So I want to just say that in anything that we do, even in the poverty, even you have finished the university, don't just say there's no job. Just ask yourselves, how am I going to get out of this condition? How am I going to get a job? Create a job for yourselves. Start your own business. Business works. For those people who are positive, business works. And if it works, you can make yourself to be successful.
I want to get back to you again. Just say your name and where we can get you.
Thank you. My name is NYAKENYANYA JAPHET. You can get me on social media, on YouTube, NYAKENYANYA JAPHET, and even on Facebook, NYAKENYANYA JAPHET again. I'm a psychologist. I do help people to understand more about mental health. I'm also a motivational speaker. I know that we make people know that life works. Thank you.
Sir Emmanuel, something to say? Your last word. Is success, does age limit success?
No, age does not limit success. Today, you could be 60 or 70, but today is a day that you can make the decision to start over. Whatever it is that you have dreamed about, success, you start the road to success in looking at the end and starting from where you are. Moses in Egypt was told by God.
Briefly?
Yes. Moses was told by God, what is it that you have in your hand? That which you have in your hand is what God is going to use to make you successful.
Your name?
My name is Emmanuel CHEGE. You will find me on Facebook as Emmanuel CHEGE. I also have a page that I have created to encourage people. Wakanda Man Speaks.
Or that we'll touch on Sunday about Wakanda Man.
So at Wakanda MS, if you want to look at it, Wakanda Man Speaks is where I do a lot of encouragement.
Thank you very much for honoring our invitation and taking your time to come and talk to our viewers. I know they are getting something. Muroreri wa Nice TV gagigucokeria ngatho nigukinyitanira na ithuĩ ithaa-inĩ rĩu rĩa gĩkorwo rekeindekereria rĩu niĩ ndigĩrĩ ndĩrakiumĩra ũguo no nginya ndĩrĩthiĩ metha-inĩ itũ ya mohoro ngorwo ngĩkũmenyithia marĩa matinda makĩhanĩka gũkũ bũrũri-inĩ hamwe na nja wa itoka cia bũrũri. Ndũgathiĩ haraya, ndĩracokereria in 1 minute.